boom, boom, Rasata. Welcome back to another episode of Career Corner, where we are saying education is key, education is the power. We are trying to empower our young so that they can know what's really going on out there when it comes to careers. Today I have my main man, George, all the way from the Netherlands. Netherlands, right? Finland. Oh man, I don't know why I'm thinking about the Netherlands. Yeah, that's advice. He's from Finland and he is a nuclear scientist, but he's going to be telling us his story, his journey, how he got into it, what is he doing right now in Finland, because he's actually an African, this guy. You can see how dark he is. They don't have them like that where he is. Okay, sir, just can you please introduce yourself to our viewers and tell us what is it that you are doing like right now?
My name is George Zimba. I'm from Zambia, and right now I'm a PhD student at University of Jyväskylä in Finland. It's quite a strange name to say, Jyväskylä. very. I'm sure South Africans are like, eh? But that's where like education will take you, discover strange worlds and new words and wonderful words if you decide to stay focused. Without wasting time, can you just get to your story, George? Let's just go to what is it that actually right now, first of all, what is it that you actually do? Like, so right now, being a PhD student here, I am working on nuclear structures, like trying to understand the way these, the periodic table, there are these nucleus with different number of protons and neutrons. So my job is right now is to excite them. Then when they're excited, they produce these gamma rays. Then from the gamma rays, we're able to understand how these structures are built. Yeah, so that's my research. And
good.
Previously, when I was in South Africa, what I did was kind of, there are different type of nuclei. Some have a lot of protons than neutrons. In South Africa, I was doing something almost on the center, almost very stable. But right now here I'm doing something a bit more rare with a lot of protons, so it's less stable than it kind of exists in the world for a very short time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of interesting. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. The crazy thing about your story that because you just said with you from Zambia, right?
Yeah.
All the way from Zambia, and you're there. I want to show kids how far you can go when you actually focus on your education. So let's get into it. So those who are watching you, because you were you born and raised in Zambia, were you always raised there and then you moved there? And then somehow, I want to get your story with how did you get into South Africa? Where did you get your matric? How was that like? How did you get into South Africa? And then how did you end up being there? If you can just take us to the story. Let's start off with your matric. They call them matrics in Zambia, right? Grade 12.
It's called grade 12 examinations. I think
grade 12, yeah.
We don't have a nicer name.
Okay, then how which subjects did you do in grade 12?
Yeah, so because in Zambia, before you go to what we call matric in South Africa, you have to have these grade 9 exams.
Okay.
And from there, if you do very well, you go to these technical schools, you do pure sciences, stuff like that. But unfortunately for me, I wasn't that smart then, I guess. So I never did very, very, very well, but at least I was able to go to a good school. And I just did no more sciences, and sciences, chemistry, biology, physics, maths, and geography and history. Yeah, and literature also. Yeah.
Basically, if you're a student right now in high school doing those subjects that this gentleman is talking about, George is talking about, you can be in Finland too. What's stopping you? Just think big. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do here. Don't limit your way you think. Don't limit yourself. I'm somewhere in South Africa, I'm somewhere in Pretoria, I'm somewhere in Joburg, I'm somewhere in Durban, I'm somewhere in Katlehong. No, dream big. Use the subjects that this man, use the education, the basic education you have to expand your horizons. Okay, cool. So
I came from a very small town compared to Johannesburg. I don't know what town is smaller like that in South Africa. Maybe some small town in Limpopo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you're from Limpopo, you can see, because he's saying he came from a very small town. Okay, cool. So now tell us your education history. So where did you go to study your higher learning? Your varsity or technical or not?
Yeah, at first I started from the University of Zambia.
Okay.
Yeah, my first year I was doing I was training to be a science teacher.
Okay.
Then after my first year, that wasn't my passion. I think I wasn't like good at it that much. Then at the end of the first year, my grades were only the best were good in sciences. Then the university kind of gave me an opportunity to change program, and I went and I did physics from there.
Okay, cool. I'm actually glad you said that, because it happens a lot where I've also interviewed, I think, another person who went through university. They were studying something else and then they changed majors. They're successful now, but at times, why we're doing what we are doing right now is so that those mistakes don't happen for the next generation, where you go and study something and then you find, man, this is not really what I want to do. We want to give them time so they can research, and this is why we're doing this thing called Career Corner. So we want to give them time so they can be like, at least let me be prepared. Because that's part of life. Like, it's like if you make, I don't want to say it's a mistake, but if you go through something, the next person should go through the very same thing that you went through, because they should be able to learn from you and say, oh, if this gentleman went through this thing at that time, then I need to try my best to make sure I don't go through that, so that I can actually excel and be better, which is what I'm really glad that you actually told us that. And then, did you leave University of Zambia? Did you have a qualification? Was it a diploma, a degree in science? What was it? Honors? What was it?
Yeah, I had a degree in science.
Okay.
Yeah. Then after that, I spent almost a year, if not a bit more than that, in Zambia, working as an unpaid intern.
Okay.
Yeah, but the good part is the job was so nice that I had I was working for like almost our equal. Our equal, as in status-wise, as the Timber Labs in South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had like very good people who taught me a lot of things. Although it took a lot of time for them to waste on me, but I learned so much, and I was unpaid, and I tried to get a job, no matter when your friends are working in the bank and they have money and everything, and you're trying your best you can do. You feel as if this is the end of the road. Yeah, so I stayed on. I kept applying for different places and kept getting a lot of rejection emails and everything.
Ish.
Yeah.
I know what it feels like. I'm looking for sponsors right now to take this thing to the next level. I know those emails, they just keep coming. They come faster than you send them, the rejection ones, but we keep going. We don't stop. So you're saying at the time when you're working in South Africa, you were still in Zambia?
No. After my unpaid internship.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I was searching for like opportunities for a master's program or something like that. Then I came across a program from UJ, University of Jyväskylä, Auckland Park. Then I read through their emails. So sometimes even sending emails to strangers is kind of helpful. Yeah. So I sent an email to this guy, Simon Cornell from UJ. I think he's still at UJ. Yeah. I sent him an email. Then I explained to him my background and what I was doing. Then he got interested of what I was doing then as an unpaid intern. Because it was like, okay, this guy has his degree and he's an unpaid intern doing this type of job, which is kind of like a job for a proper like science technician. Yeah, so he called me up for an interview. We talked. Then after that, he offered me a master's scholarship from the NRF. It was like 10% foreigners, and I was the one foreigner in class of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now you are in South Africa. Then, when you were here, so you were doing your masters.
Yes.
So it was almost like you were working in a way, or you were just strictly studying and doing your masters.
It was strictly studying. First year of class, like almost the whole year of class. We had, I think, 2 weeks break. A lot of classes and experiments. We go to NETSA, where there's the research reactor between Johannesburg and Pretoria. Timber Labs, Johannesburg, behind Wits University. A lot of labs and classes. Just that. So
okay, cool.
I committed to do that, and there was a little money, but like enough to stay in a shared accommodation. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So tell me, just to be clear, because I don't think we touched on it, what is it you were studying exactly?
Right now.
In UJ, when you were in UJ, what is it you're studying exactly, like your master's?
So the master's was also nuclear structures, nuclear physics.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're still doing nuclear physics, okay?
Yeah. So after the first year of the program, were just like general classes, master's physics classes. Then after that, in my second year, I met this brilliant woman, Susan Fumbi. Yeah, she when I was doing my first year, she was doing a PhD at UJ. Then when I finished my first year, we kind of talked and had a chat. Then she told me of her experience in nuclear physics, and I think without her, I wasn't going to be here. She was like super amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, she told me how she went through a PhD at Zimba Labs in Cape Town, and she actually came and did her experiment here in Finland, this place where I am. Yeah.
Okay.
So
cool.
I joined that, and I worked with her. She was my supervisor. Did my research in nuclear structures and wrote some papers with her after that. Yeah.
Okay. Which year was this?
This was up to 2013, 14, 15. Yeah.
2015. Okay, cool. Because we're in 2020 right now. I should have actually been asking, but it's fine. We'll take it from 2015. And then now, the big question in the bag is that then how do you get to Finland? Because you were there, you're doing your master's. The logical thing a person would think was, oh, I'm doing my master's, I'm going to complete my master's, I'm going to get married or whatever the case may be and settle down. You like right now in Finland, and let's touch on that now.
Even getting here, I think there's a lot of like I'm sorry, I would divert and tell you a little bit of a story.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Yeah.
So when I got done with my master's, I went home. Then I worked for the government for like 2 years, the government job. It was nice, but there's always that motivation to grow in life. You should always like try to do more. When you're placed, you have an opportunity. You should always try to aim for that. So after 2 years, I left Zambia. I went to Central Michigan University in the USA for a PhD.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was also like a learning experience for me, because I spent 1 year there. Then after 1 year, people would call it a failure, but it's kind of like a learning experience. After a year, I kind of said, okay, my heart was not in it. I wasn't like fully committed, and I spent a lot of time, I think, wandering, not actually working.
Okay.
Then an opportunity was advertised to come here. Then one of my supervisors, again from South Africa, sent an email saying, okay, George, we know you used to do this and you are quite good at it. If you want to go back to this field, are you willing to apply for this position? The place you're going to is nice, and I can vouch. Like the guys kind of said, okay, that's a good environment and everything. And the same lady, Susan Fumbi, talked to me about it. Then I said, okay, this is motivating. Then I found myself here, starting last year, the 1st of January. Yeah. So this is my second year here.
So second year. So how long are you going to be there for?
The next 2 years. Yeah.
Next year. So it's going to be 4 years in total.
Yeah, 4 years in total. Hopefully I'll do it in 3.5.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I want to emphasize that, I want to emphasize this thing called a journey. That you've been doing so much, but still you're finding yourself in a situation whereby you're not where you want to be in terms of the level of education that you want to obtain for yourself and the dreams that you have for yourself, and you're still studying. You have your PhD, you're doing your PhD right now, you have your master's, and then you guessing you have honors. You have honors as well, because you can't do one or the other degree, but you still are pursuing the thing that you want to do and become, because I think that's very, very important for kids to understand, Guti. There's really no overnight success.
No.
They say take 10 years to become an overnight success, and so far I'm counting 15 from you, my brother. The things you're telling me, I'm like, no, it's 21st. But you're still doing it, and you're happy, right? Like, think about it. It's not like you're doing this thing and you in your native country. nothing to take, I'm not taking away anything from them, but you all on the other side of the continent. That's incredible to me, because it shows that you literally, as a human being, you are limited by the way you think, by the way you dream.
Yeah.
You literally limit yourself. If you decide not to let that thing limit you, you could be a kid in Limpopo, Wanongoma, Olundi, Eskawini, Mpangeni, wherever you are. But if you decide to dream big and open up your mind, you could be a guy I'm interviewing. So we're still talking about limiting your mind and limiting yourself as a person, right? So tell me, like right now, because we pretty much are almost done the interview, how are you finding your work, the place, first of all, that you're in? How are you finding it? Because you're in a foreign land. You have to use English all the time, I'm guessing, like all the time. And I know how irritating it gets sometimes, like, you can't even like say, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are you finding the place you're currently in right now?
Yeah, it's a bit, I think I wouldn't say hard. It's a learning experience. Yeah, because the first time I came to Joburg, I got in the taxi, then the taxi driver said something in Zulu, then I couldn't say a word. That was my first week, and he said, "You are blind, you should know Zulu."
And I know how to drivers, I'm Zulu, but I know how to drivers, they don't play. but being back here, like Finland is a great country because everyone speaks English. Yeah. Even though they don't speak English, when they see that you are trying your best, like even just to say one word in their local language, just to say hello, they would save you from saying the rest. Yes, they will start trying to speak English and try to communicate and explain, which is good. Okay, good. So another thing. So now let me just, without going and breaking protocol in the company that you're working for, university you're working for right now. What, like, so now, nuclear physicist. What is it exactly? If you can just talk to a person who's doing grade 8 or grade 10 and tell them exactly, this is exactly what you are doing and the kind of work you are doing. It's supposed to, these are the end results, or this is supposed to be the end results of what you are doing, so they can understand a bit more what a nuclear physicist does. Because like there's a lady I also interviewed who's also a nuclear physicist, who's in Pretoria. Me, I don't want to lie to you. When I had nuclear, I was like, these people are making bombs. I'm telling you right now, the typical person just thinks nuclear, we think bombs, those big mushroom bombs. That's the thing that most people think about. So I just want to know, what is it that you actually do, if you can go into detail?
Yeah, so there are two parts. I think for my research, there are two parts. The first one is just knowledge, trying to understand like how these materials or elements are made in the universes, how their abundances are distributed, why do we have so much let's say calcium than some other elements which are rare, like dysprosium or europium, stuff like that. That's the first part. That's just the physics knowledge. But on the other hand, like my field itself, what we have done is there's so much end results which are in public and people don't get to see that. You talked over the physicist in Pretoria about medical physics. There's these CT scans. So that technology started from nuclear physics. There's a lot of stuff, like even data storage. There's a lot of stuff which people develop to do some funny experiment in physics, trying to understand something, but the end result is commercial. Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh, okay, cool. But so a person basically. Okay, continue.
Yeah, but for my field, if I have to explain to a young mice, to me, what I'm doing, oh yeah, it'll be a bit. This is the hard question, I guess. Yeah. So it's basically to understand the basic, not the fundamental basic structure of what builds everything, because there are higher levels than that. Just to understand. Okay, I'll use the word basic. Maybe someone will correct me in future. Like to understand the basic structures of how things are built and why they are arranged like that, why do we have a difference between calcium 20 and calcium 21 when we study their structures? Why are they built differently? Like that's what I'm trying to understand.
Okay. Okay, cool. To me, it makes sense. And obviously, a person who wants to pursue a career in nuclear science, in science in general, in physics, they will get into more depth. They'll have to go and do their own research, which brings me to my next question. Just pop into mind, if a person wants to pursue the kind of career that you're doing right now, what you're doing right now, as much as you are a student, but you're not just in Finland out of your own money, I'm sure somebody's fitting the bill for you to be there.
Yes.
Someone is fitting that's like the incredible thing about this thing, that someone is fitting a bill for you to be overseas. And then people normally hear about these stories and then like, no, there's this guy, he went to Finland, he went to Spain, he went to do this, he went to these places. We never get to see these people. Even the parents say, do you know George? But they never get to see who's George. I was 5 in Georgia, who's George? But now, even back in your hometown.
A lot of cousins I see once in a while. Some of them, I meet them for the first time when I go home.
Exactly. And now they'll get to understand what is it you do, because we want them to know that, like what I said, like don't limit yourself in the way that you think. If you want to go and stay in America and study there for whatever that you want to study for, there has to be a way for you to be able to go and do it. And brings me to my next question that I was saying before, that and the person wants to pursue the kind of career that you're on, are there any platform or forums that they can just go and check them out? If I'm a kid in high school and I want to learn more just about learning, are there forums I can go look at, platforms I can go look at besides our one? I'm sure there's like just so for them to understand and prepare themselves for the future.
Okay, so the first one, actually this is great because you're in South Africa, and this is one thing, an advantage South Africans and Zambians have. In South Africa there's so many opportunities, you just have to know where to go. So for physics, there's South African Institute of Physics. They have like a nice website, and there you find opportunities, and they'll advertise jobs, like even positions for masters and funding for bachelors also, I'm sure. And another important thing site is the Zimba Labs. I think I said it several times in the interview.
Okay.
They usually have internships for when you finish your university, and they have programs for high school where if you're in high school, you send them an email or something. They have like a communication director on their website. They're able to take you for a tour, then you can like shadow a real scientist, one of those old guys there.
Oh, that's good. So
check out these two, and I'm sure even in universities there are certain professors. If you can go to the website and look at them, send them. Some people will reply, some people won't reply. Send them an email just to consult, and they would help. I know. I have like, from the time the 3 years I spent in South Africa, I have like an amazing group of friends from there. I'm up to know what you talk.
Oh, okay, that's good. So whoever wants to be a scientist, whoever wants to be in physics, please make sure that you check out the websites George was talking about, because I feel like they help. I feel like they will help you at least understand the field you want to get on, and help you, because sometimes there's parents that you have to deal with. The parents want because just because you got A's in school, they want you to go become a doctor, because we come from the era where if you are smart, considered smart, or just a hard worker in general, because like I don't believe smartness is just like, it's hard work. You are willing to apply yourself, and then they say, no, you need to go study, be a doctor. You know, at home we're hungry, doctors are paid, but you know what you want to do deep down inside in your heart. So you need to look at these platforms and look at these forums, and just, it helps to argue the case if you want to go study these things. And then before we end our interview, George, anything you can say to a person who's watching this video right now, who wants to pursue a career, it could be what you're doing, or any career that they want to pursue, the challenges that they face, because you told me about the challenges that you face yourself. I didn't even ask you because you just jumped into them. Maybe people who watch a couple of videos will be like, but you always ask about challenges. George did say the challenges that he faced on the video, so just go back and watch the video again so you can get his full story. But any words of encouragement you can say to a kid who wants to be like, yo, I also want to be in Finland, I also want to be doing my PhD in Finland or in America, because you've been in America you've been in Finland, you've been in South Africa, and you're from Zambia. That's like the thing I want them to understand. This guy is from this place, but he's existed in all these other places, while there's people who never even leave their hometown because of being scared, because of being afraid of their dreams. Anything that you can just, a message you can pass on to them, just to say, hey guys, go in and go hard.
I think the most important thing is, when you face, like, let's say, people always call it failure, like a delay. Is it delay is not denial,
Exactly. Like the words of the great Casper, Questa, delay is not denial.
I still like Questa. Delay is not denial. And sometimes the road is hard and it's long. But the most important thing is, whatever you're doing, you should love it. And when you love something, if you spend, let's say, 8 hours working on a problem, and you love it, you won't even notice the time fly, how time flies. So it's just stay committed, invest time to learn, hard work always. No matter how long it takes, if that's your dream, you just have to go there and do it. People might say, "Oh, you are wasting your time." What? Just do it.
Okay, cool. Okay, no, thank you very much.
Just one more thing: have a network of friends. You need, at least, if even when the road is long and the struggle is hard, you must have a backup crew.
Okay, no, thank you, George. Our network is starting to be funny. I just want to say all the best in Finland. Hopefully I'll meet you one day, and then we'll go out for coffee. After COVID, though, we'll go out for coffee or something. I'd love to meet you one day. Just shake your hand and say thank you very much for the time you've given to us.
The pleasure.
Yes, I understand you're busy.
I hope I'll be back in South Africa one day soon. Next year.
Yes. Okay, definitely we can link up, and then the gentleman who introduced us to Tembilani, which is part of the people we're working with, he was actually here on the stream when we were doing this thing. He just came and rubbed his hand and he left. I understand he's also busy. We can link up and do something. Thank you very much.
He's one of my people in my network.
Number one, exactly. We cannot overlook that whole network thing, because it's becoming a common thread in this content I'm creating. All the people I'm talking to, they say, majority of them know that I have a network of people that I can tap into if I need something, if I need advice, if I need this, if I need that. The people, when you're studying, people you cross night with, not because you're drinking and smoking or do whatever in varsity, but you're literally studying and making your dreams come true and making your people proud. Very, very important, that thing. Okay, Joe, let me let you go.
I just have to mention one other guy, like, talking of networks. There's this guy, Siabong. He's a very brilliant guy, also from UJ. He took me when I was a young master's student. Up to now, we kind of talk, and he gives you motivation. It's just brilliant.
That's good. I need to get his contacts after we're done with this. After he sees what I did with you, he needs to do something with me as well. Okay, George. Okay, cool. You have a great day, sir. Enjoy Finland. It seems very sunny where you are. I thought it was cold. It seems very sunny where you are. And
today's a nice day.
Even in South Africa, fun enough. All the best in your career and everything that you're doing. And dude, you're making us proud. As African people, you're making us proud. I wanted to say that this just makes me very, very proud to know that there's people, there are brothers and sisters that we have here that are actually able to do incredible things despite all odds, but they are able to say, Austin, let me just go and go for my dreams. I respect you for that, and shout out to you, sir. Before you go, we have a slogan that you always say at the end of each interview here. It goes, Ratata, Career Corner, Ratata. Can you say it for us, sir?
Ratata, Career Corner, Ratata.
Number one, dream big, think sharp. Cut. We out.
Cheers.